Hi, today we're going to look at questions with or without auxiliary verbs. First of all, we'll start with questions with auxiliary verbs, because these are the normal way that people are taught to form a question from a low level. We start with a question word, then an auxiliary verb, then the subject, and then the main verb or verb phrase. For example, what music do you like? How often does she go shopping? When did we visit your parents? Now, questions don't always have a question word, but they always have an auxiliary verb, a subject, and the main verb. For example, do you like dancing? Have you been to China? We usually use an auxiliary verb with the main verb to make a question. However, sometimes we can have questions without an auxiliary verb. This happens when the question word, for example, who, what, which, or how many, is the subject of the verb that's used in the question. In that case, we don't use an auxiliary verb. And the verb that we do use is in the third person rather than an infinitive form. For example, what happened after the event? There's no auxiliary verb. Who writes their biographies? Again, no auxiliary verb. And we can see the verb is in the third person because we can see the S in that present verb. Which team won the competition? Compare the two. If we look at this question, what did the Beatles sing? The answer to the question could be the Beatles sang yesterday. The word what corresponds to yesterday. What is the object of the question? The Beatles are the subject. Question: who sang yesterday? The answer is the Beatles sang yesterday. Who is the subject of the question? Who is the Beatles? Okay, they are the subject. They are the ones that sang yesterday. So basically, if your question word is the object of the verb used in the question, you need an auxiliary verb. If the question word is the subject of the question verb, you don't need an auxiliary verb. I hope that makes sense. Watching.